Hey guys, Nash here, and today I want to show you really quickly a tool that has revolutionized my business. My name is Nash and I sell properties for sale by owner. And I've struggled finding a tool that could really adjust and adapt to my specific needs because I'm not a realtor, or I'm not an investor, and I'm not a wholesaler. I have some property, I want to sell it for sale by owner. How do I adapt these tools? Well, I couldn't, so I made my own. Introducing PropTalkie. And really, I want to show you really quickly, all the hype aside, I want to show you really quickly just how I use it in my personal for sale by owner business. Now, check it out. I'm only going to mention a few of the features because there are so many, but the ones that really stand out to me personally, and hopefully that will shed some light onto you, and you can see how perhaps it can be useful to you. So the first thing I want to mention here is the dashboard. Now, as you start using the tool, of course, it will become more valuable to you. When you first open the account, it'll be empty. But look at this right here, and I'll just do a quick glimpse over, okay? Right here, it's showing me the opportunity status, and I'll go deeper onto what the opportunities are. But essentially, these are people who have said, hey, I'm interested in what you have to sell. And look at this, it breaks it down for me. Right now, I'm talking to 36 people. I've lost 20 people. 20 people have said nope. 6 people have said yes, where do I sign? And one person ghosted me. But look at this, it just puts it right there, right? And the same thing, it changes the graphic and puts it in terms of value, because once you start associating the amount with the actual dollar value, it does a little shift, a little click in the brain that just changes your perspective and your actions consequently. And so one of those things here, check it out. It's telling me, wow, okay, I have 36 people who are saying, hey, I'm interested in what you have to say. Now, when you measure that in terms of dollars, we're talking almost 400K, a little over 350K. Well, that's impressive. It makes you go, maybe, just maybe, I should actually try and get these people. At the same time, you start thinking, well, I only lost 20. But look how much that implied, about 50K, right? About 50 grand right there. And so that just puts it in perspective. And if the ones that you did, okay, 21,000, we signed 21,000 people, but that's a conversion rate of 9.5%. Well, maybe we can do better, right? So this is just gives you a glimpse of how to track what you're doing, because often we're worried so much, we're focused so much on getting that sale, on talking to people and networking and overall running our business, and we forget to look at the numbers. But if we don't look at the numbers, we're operating blindly. If we take it a step further, it's going to show us, for example, also the funnel, and I'm going to explain this to you in a second in a different screen. But it's showing me where I'm losing or where I'm converting the people. So I have different stages that we've established. One where, okay, I've raised my hand, I'm interested, then to the conversation started, and then we do the follow-up more than once, of course, and we get to the point of the offer negotiation. Then they sign the contract, they make the payment, and it closes. And so if you break it down like this and you start analyzing the data of where you lose them, or where they're at, or where they're stalling, you're able to tweak and adjust your systems to make it better and perfect it. So if you start noticing that you're losing people at the follow-up section, well, maybe our follow-up messages aren't resonating. Maybe we need to tweak that approach. Maybe it's the frequency at which we do it. Or I personally pay a lot of attention to the contract stage. If they get to the point where they're finally convinced and they ask, where do I sign? And you send them the contract and you're losing them at that stage, well, maybe there's something in the contract that we need to look at. Maybe we ask them, okay, why didn't you sign? Or what happened there? Anyways, it gives you the ability to actually see where to fix, which is an incredible thing. You're not operating in the blind. Anyways, there are other graphics here, but the additional thing to the dashboard that's neat, it also puts your tasks. Sometimes you start working, you're like, okay, where do I focus on? There's so much to do. And having someone or something, a software in this case, breaking it down and saying, okay, you got to focus on this and this and this. These are the calls that you have to make, boom, things happen, right? And then lastly here that I'd like to show you for this video is the lead source report. I love this because, once again, perspective. So it's showing me whenever there's a lead, whenever someone raises a hand, we put in the where they came from. Was it maybe from the chat widget on our website? Was it from a drive-by? Did they just drive by and see the signs? Was it from a Facebook? Was it from the MLS listing? A neighbor, Zillow, whatever. You put here your sources, and now you're able to actually measure it in dollars, right? How many leads came from each of those places, and how much that means in terms of dollars. And that allows you then to know, okay, you know what? Selling to the neighbor really works. Right here, I have 105K in value in the leads that I currently have. Well, maybe I should focus more on the strategy to sell to neighbors when I first get a property. The same thing, say, with Facebook right here. Well, hey, I've got 11 leads. These leads are worth $29,000. Well, now it gives me an idea. Well, you know what? I get greater value from the leads that are neighbor leads, because 11 versus 9 is actually not that. Let's see, Facebook 11. Oh, actually, this is quite interesting. Facebook 11, neighbor leads 11. So I've got the same amount of leads. One is worth 105K, another is 29K. So now we start thinking, okay, maybe the leads I attract from Facebook are not as good, or maybe they are better than the leads that I attract from the MLS or from my website. So you're able to then see which places bring you better leads, or you're able to adjust the messaging that you use, say on Facebook listings, versus in a one-on-one approach with your neighbors or your postcard or whatever strategy you're using. Anyways, it allows you to make decisions that are based off of data that you've gathered, and that in itself is invaluable. But enough of the dashboard, because that was just the dashboard. There is an inbox, conversations. Conversations are neat because it's basically going to give you just one place where you can communicate with your leads. And so, in other words, you're going to come into PropTalkie and you're going to connect your Facebook, you're going to connect your MLS if you do stuff there, you're going to connect your Instagram, all of your social networks, you're going to connect everywhere where you communicate with someone, including phones and texts, and it will aggregate it all into this cool inbox. So if someone messages you, boom, you get it right here. That means you spend less time trying to answer people on different platforms and forgetting about different platforms, just coming here, checking your inbox, and making sure that everyone is taken care of just by going to the next, and the next, right? Now, that's just your inbox. We'll come back to it later. You have opportunities is really what I would like to show you. So remember on that first screen over there where we talked about where someone could raise their hand, the conversation started, etc. Here's a different visual approach to that. But, and by the way, I'm showing you this right here is from my actual for sale by owner business, okay? This is actual live account that I'm using. So I can't even move these people because otherwise things will happen and different things will trigger. And anyways, so check it out. I've got right here some pointers about this process. First of all, it's visual. For me, it helps to see at which stage is someone at. So what used to happen is I used to say promote online, and I'd get a lead, I talk to them, and maybe they decided to think about it, or they were like, oh yeah, in the weekend I'm going to go see the property. Whatever the situation, it just kind of fell into that. And then next week, if we were lucky and I remembered and I happened to cross them, I'd say, hey, did you have a chance to go see the property? And then maybe they didn't, and then it starts over. Then they go, we'll go again in a couple days, or we'll check it out tomorrow after work today. Whatever the situation, it was just a little bit lacking. My follow-up was lacking, right? So now started using the tool and realized, wow, I was leaving a lot of money on the table, because here I'm able to actually track and keep on top of them regarding my follow-up. So someone raises their hand, they end up over here. Talk to them a little bit. They ask for information about the property. Now the conversation started. They actually wanted more info. So I put them into this stage right here. Conversation started. So as of now, in this example, I've got $49,000 on the table from people that I'm talking to because they're interested in my properties, and we're talking to them. Well, guess what? It could just stay like that, right? And I would probably lose right there. But we've got the systems in place that now that they're here, the system itself will follow up with them. And so now they're going to get messages. So check it out. I've got right here several people in this stage of follow-up 1. These people are receiving follow-up messages. I've got 187K on the line right here. So these people, I could be avoiding them. I could have forgotten about them. I could have left them fall through the cracks. But no, the system is doing that follow-up. And after some time, if they don't respond, it goes into follow-up 2. And the system sends more messages in the follow-up 2 section. The same is true for if they don't respond here, and the system pushes them a little harder. So you see, we did it in stages. Here, follow-up 1 is like, hey, did you review the property? What did you think? Follow-up 2 will be like, hey, do you have any questions? Basically, we're gauging their interest. And the third follow-up is being like, hey, so what do you think? Are you going to get this or not? It's a little bit more pushy. And then at that point, at any one of these stages, if they start communicating with you, they go into the offer and negotiation stage. And so now, this is when we're talking numbers. They're really interested, and they want to know more. Like, they're talking numbers, they're considering it. This might really just be the thing for them. And so now, this is the stage where you really need to pay attention. And so, like, look at this. Actually, all the stages we need to pay attention, but right now it's getting serious, right? And so in this stage, I have about 51,000 people who are serious about this. They are genuinely thinking, I want to, I believe strongly that this property should be in my life. So a correction, I don't have 51,000 people, $51,000 on the line regarding properties right here in this stage. And so it puts it, but between everyone, we saw what, 37 people, 46 opportunities total. And it's like, hey, if you're managing 46 opportunities by yourself, just by memory, it's probably not going to happen. And from there, just to continue putting it into perspective, we've got people who said, yep, that went from here to negotiating to, yes, send me a contract, I want to sign. So right now I've got 2 people in this example that are interested who have indeed signed a contract. So from here, we're waiting from payment. Now this is where I love looking here. I've got 2 options in this case. We do owner financing. So look at this. I've got right now owner financing, 4 opportunities, only 4 people in this case, but 29,000. By the time that they all finish paying, this is how much I would have made or will make. And so here lets you know who exactly is on the financing, who is owner financing. And lastly, the people who have closed paid cash up front. Right there, in this case, I've got 1. And then, of course, continuing on with the opportunities, we've got different scenarios. Sometimes people say it's not a bad fit. Not right now, it's not going to work, but I'm really interested. Or, hey, don't have money, bad fit. And then nurture. So these leads that goes to you that are a not right now, that are I don't have money, or I changed my mind, or whatever the case may be, these people go into what we call a nurture campaign. And these are messages that will be sent to them on occasion at a certain frequency to re-engage them and perhaps catch them down the line. Because if they're not ready now, doesn't mean they're not going to be ready maybe a few weeks from now. And so this is a very, very powerful tool. Now let me show you, I showed you the structure of it and how we navigate people through these stages, but in real life, look at this. So click on conversations. First of all, I'll talk to this person, she called in. Immediately when it calls in to the system, it creates a contact. Now I'm able to take notes because there are, for example, here on the side, notes, and you can leave a note. As you're talking to her, you can open this and start boop, 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 typing, and you'll have a recollection of what was discussed with this person. But the other thing I'd like to show you here is check this out. This person was interested. Okay, they reached out. They probably saw a sign on the street, and they called me. Then I sent them a message. Also followed up with a text that went automatically. Did not actually type that. But look at this. Here's the property that they were asking about. System sent them the property email. I did not actually retype this for this person. It did it automatically. And then a few days from there, there's actually a few things here, but a few days from there, there's an email that went out. Hey, I hope this message finds you well. Here's, and then another text. And now this conversation basically happened on its own. But what's really neat is I didn't really have to think about it. The system did it for me. And if Sean responds, well then, hey, great, I'm just going to get that notice. As an example, let me show you, I mean, these are live conversations that are happening here, so I don't really know what's up before messaging you or showing it to you. But look, message someone, okay? Their mom called me, and here you can see the notes. It actually tells you the story. Mom calls you. Mom called me, said that I had talked to him, messaged him. He responds. Great. Now we're in conversations. Talk to him, call him. Of course, nothing beats the call. But now the system tracks it. If there are tasks, things that I need to do regarding this person, I can put them in here. So it was a specific case. He said, call him on Monday. Okay, great. I put a task in here the moment he said that. And now the system will notify me to call him on Monday, and he won't fall through the cracks. So you see how valuable that is? Let's see. Here's another one. Hey, Kiki just sent you an email, da-da-da-da-da-da. And she responded, thanks, love, will do. So look at this. She's engaged. Did I personally send her this email? No. Or this text in this case? No. Well, I mean, I did, but the system did it for me. And so see how valuable this is? I'm now able to follow up and keep on track with my opportunities, with my prospects to convert into actual sales. And so I just wanted to really show you this. These features, they're invaluable, but of course there are other ones. One really cool thing here, we've got in the marketing section, you connect your accounts, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, so forth. And two things. One, you can open up a calendar and literally plan your whole month of postings. You know that consistency is key when posting, when promoting, especially online and social media. And you can do that in the system right here. You select which networks it's going to go to. It can be all of them at once if you'd like. You type in your message and boom, it's going to send out one effort, multiple results. It's going to send out to all of the networks. And you can do that for the whole month. You can do that for the whole year. You just plan it out and boom, and then you can set it and forget it. Just like those emails I was showing you earlier from the leads. Additionally, changing off from the social planner, you've got, of course, emails that you can send. You can send out campaigns. In case you have promotions or newsletters and things like that, you can create your own. There are templates in the system that we provide so that you don't even have to worry so much about the design and much more about the content, and you can put that in there. And then another really neat thing is I found that a lot of times I end up answering the same thing over and over and over again. And remember, one effort, multiple results. I don't want to find myself doing the same thing again and again. I want to maximize my time because that is what I have the least of. And so here I've got template snippets, and we've got for each property. Remember I said I didn't send that email, the system did it itself. Well, the moment I tagged that person that she was interested on this specific property, it sent an email, and that email contained the information of the property and photos of the property. How cool is that? Of course you have to set up the email the first time, but we make the template available so it becomes easier for you to do that. Additionally, we've got some other things like, hey, so-and-so, I just sent you the agreement. Please review and sign it. Da-da-da. Or, hey, congratulations on moving forward. To complete your purchase, please use the link below. Or here's our wiring information. So some of these messages that you're constantly using, it's in the system for you that you can use. And this way, when you're talking with someone, let me show you how I would use that. Let's say I'm going to respond to this gal. If I'm going to send a text, I click on SMS, and here I've got insert templates, and it pulls the templates, the messages that I have available that I often send by text. So it could be like, hey, just sent you the payment details, or hey, I'll mention this in a second, but we also have some of these messages in Spanish for you. So even if you don't necessarily speak Spanish, but you're communicating with someone who prefers Spanish, we've got the main negotiation messages in Spanish for you. So you could be like, hey, I just noticed this, what happened, da-da-da-da-da-da. We have it labeled in English, so you know what it is, but the message is regarding that. So for example, if I wanted to send this, I'd click there. say use template, and now the system is actually going to put their name in. Hi, hey, hola, Sean, right? And then it's going to put your name in there. So that's just an example of how to use the messages that we put in here for you, so you're not having to think, okay, how do I tell them to pay? Same thing with emails if you need to send an email. So you would click there if I need to send information on a property. Oh yeah, this person is really interested on this property, 416 Taft Street. Click there, use template, and now it's going to tell them, here's the information, APN numbers, address, and of course all the photos attached. How cool is that? Phenomenal, right? It's amazing. Saves a lot of time. And so I could go on and on because there are so many other features that you can benefit from using this tool. But these, to me personally, as a business owner, as someone who's selling for sale by owner, are the ones that really, really shine, at least that I use the very most. Of course, there are automation features. You can integrate it with your favorite tool like Zapier or Pabbly or Make or whatever it is that you use, and connect this tool and take it even a step further and connect it with other tools that you use that you have already in your process. Do you need to send, in addition to some other things that it does, do you need to send contracts, agreements, purchase agreements, deeds, etc., where you're actually creating the contracts and need to send it? You can do it. It's in here in the system. You can send them those things. If we go into the payments section here, documents and contracts, and you can actually send them those things. So the really neat thing is you can automate it, and so you can make it, you can create, once you have your contract, you upload it into the system, and now you can put things like, this is where the name field goes, this is where the address goes, and really the system will pre-populate that for you. And so now you're not having to redo the templates every time, the contracts every time. So really quite amazing, really quite phenomenal. It'll make you money. It'll save you money from the various tools that you're probably using to accomplish some of these things, but it'll ultimately make you money. And that's what really matters.